sula te karalo kusambos shuge tariki lesson de bawachin data interpretation gi line graphs ki kolel hapnila so ngai tawachi tadi examination de bolo khar rainbow tulu detail na solve pe tuni gi disemeni sumchula ani bodulu nalfa disu top drosh bawachin tenga gi question solve pe gi la tha ani be reading gi be te disember top bawachin tariki video the last one sumchula for this year 2020 ki so and with the line graphs kila first question the bawachin and the yela the chart shows total revenue as a percent of GDP and revenue as a percentage of recurrent expenditure mula ta kasla mela bachin mawulu yemi ki graph ki ngachi ki analu mula graph lab dolunga khatali shui na khatu ki di data mula kamchi amount me wala GDP ki nalu amount me mawulu ki di year me wala 2001 2002 2003 2004 से 2009 since do tela ani triangular shape na diamond shape na me di bawachin total revenue as a percent of GDP ki percentage revenue allocated for this one and revenue as a percentage of recurrent expenditure na revenue comes tanga gi mbani di ani bodala first question the fiscal policy of the government of Bhutan mula RGOB requires that domestic revenue should cover the recurrent expenditure of the government la mebola kaslam la watching ngachi gi usually la ngachi gi revenue digibe expenditure tamidi cover bego bala recover besugo pe imbe recover the expenditure of the government mola so which year the RGOB did not meet that policy goal the most mebola usually ngachi gi revenue the titib gi expenditure me bola atra expenditure the mam dion so ani bodolu gap ta mela amchi vast gap to mola so ani boda custom lochin which year the RGOB did not meet that policy goal the most lola custom lochin revenue le the expenditure mambe exit jojo close la bola gap di ta ani bodolu atara shui mola options ta gola hemara ani options ta dolu year di jam chino 2002 2004 2005 and 2006 so 2002 anadu 2004 anadu 2005 anadu 2006 anadu ani bodolu ngachi directly highest gap ta gola highest gap expenditure the revenue ki bana highest gap the directly anulu solve pe dego mila actually 100% and accuracy rangiralu thechum cha te ani mebachin de solve pero embeti memachin graph ta bira halam chi subla so ani bodulu 2002 gi nala gap ta wachin ngachi anala khoni bana 20.7 da 114.2 mala gap na at bombs no 2004 gi nala 2004 gi na di chons no tele similarly if you look for 2005 la 2005 ki na tawachin tena asimola chons no tele 2006 na chome so directly lapso wala the correct answer is 2002 se cause of gap bomb asno wala analu did not meet the policy goal at most wala at the most so an bodalo gap bomb jojo ki lojla me so an boda gap bomb di 2002 na junla te bodalo if you feel mola I think te be mishebe te wadi solve pe ni 100% accuracy goes no achin solve betang di ngachi gi ani gap di calculate pe na la so an bodalo solution di mola solution di bawachin for 2002 la 2002 gi bawachin tatamela 2002 gi nalu revenue di 20.7 expenditure 114.2 imagala revenue 20.7 minus expenditure 114.2 so ani bodalu 20.7 minus 114 mola 114.2 bodalu you'll get negative 93.5 la so khoni ki panal 2002 ki year nalu di gap ti amchi dubala anchora thipe you'll look for 2004 mola option that thipe 2004 2005 2006 la so anzume chora thipera for let's say for 2006 ki tagila for 2006 ana mola 2006 ki lo 17.5 and 103.5 so 17.5 minus 103.5 penila so an bodalu you get negative 86 mola so 86 bodalu ngai dachile shuila gap mam ga tu sem bola ro analo did not meet that policy goal the most mola gap tara ta sumi so an bodalu gap tara ta mi amchi option na le anal 2002 ki gap ni mola so an when 2002 choose penny or otherwise you can manually solve it la now let's move on with question number 2 which year did the domestic revenue exceed the recurrent expenditure the most same bola ta to inadi nathi bel habgola question de question lejume habachin ngachi how go subala so and kaslam which year did the domestic revenue exceed memela that's the expenditure exceed pemola that the domestic revenue the mam juju kilos namela the recurrent expenditure the most revenue mam juju the actually analu kadibudula chin revenue the expenditure mam dem usually but still then as per the question which year did the domestic revenue exceed the recurrent expenditure the most tachiki the tipdolu it's completely opposite la tachi the expenditure revenue tipdolu expenditure mam mola gap mam chegobe tatugi nadi domestic revenue exceeds the recurrent expenditure la tatodi revenue mam yebiglo jimeba so ani bodalu achiki we will look for the lowest gap la options ta bebe the lowest gap the chenila so ani bodalu options ta wachin mola 2008 2004 2006 and 2007 and bodalu 2008 la hemara 2008 2004 2006 and 2007 mola amchi me bola so and bodalu tachili shu mola ngachiki lowest gap the mola we'll look for the lowest gap so and 2008 kinalu tashla gap animchi du megala honi banalu 23.3 minus 127 2007 kinale gap bomdu 2006 kinale gap animchi atchi pomola 2004 kina gap chume wala so ngai bawachin ane atchi analyze bebe anini minus beta bebe kagi ani value less themidi ngai ani di baungla to bada to di seo me gomola tro anale directly guess besbe we can directly guess that the answer is mola ane without 2004 messages wala because on the lowest gap to so ane al again and kumate al again tick 2004 la nalo yemagala so ane bodal 2004 to through if you feel mola toranga gi calculate pedra tago amchi confident me ngalu map reading nalu time do so no wachin then calculation dikade bin la wachin la question number 2 mola question number 2 ge calculation di achi gi toru 2000 example mola 2000 ta tunga 2004 gi da tele 2008 ki bagila so an bodalu 2004 and 2008 ki solve pe bitenge so an boda 2004 gi la hemara ana mola 2004 ki 16.4 minus 98.2 16.4 minus 98.2 and tachli bemola 2004 gi talu ma bemola tachli solve pe watching sin na gi an solve pe watch mai di sembola so 2004 gi nalo 16.4 minus 98.2 bodalu when we subtract this we'll get a value of 81.8 la tichora thipe if you go for 2008 kina bawachin ana mola 2008 kina bawachin 23.3 minus 127 we'll do 23.3 minus 127 bodalu if we subtract 127 from 23.3 then we'll get 103.7 la answer negative na thumula negative so an bodalu anala tatu nadi analu gap tamela we are getting 103 and the lowest data sushi malai number chamtanda and sign ignore bela to inalu simply ignore the sign and just consider the numbers so an bodalu 2004 ki imagala tur luktra minimum rani bala chu ani to option so 2006 and 7 ki tare this will have the lowest and the gap tele question number 2 say mola now let's go with another one da so another one nalu kadibitu lawachinda the following line graph gives the ratio of the amounts of imports to the amount of exports of the country for the period from 1995 to 2001 kachla melawachin analu 0.65 is the ratio la and ratio imewala example ngachigi 1/2 ratio di bachi 0.5 se tumba tumala 1/2 di ngachi 0.5 se ditup so and when di khongi ani di decimal na tunwala but this is a ratio imela so ratio show bumala ana yumika ara these are all ratio imewala of amount of import imewala over export meaning ani 1/2 0.5 se chinye bachin it means 1/2 mala so 1/2 but this is import la import import and this becomes the export so ratio of import over export chinjib imbela nalu for the year 1995 to 2001 ge how we mola so ani how ko wachin now we will move on with the first question la the first question ki kasta mela wachin the imports were minimum proportionate to the exports of the country in the year simola the kachla mela wachin imports were minimum proportionate to the exports of the country meaning kachla mela wachin ngachi ki tachli simola ngai import over export bedalu kachla mela wachin import the less lola compared to export the chepdalu import the less se me year the kate du se me bola ta analu kachhe ko lo chinga chigila number biru ratio di analo mola ta chunga shi imports are minimum mola minimum tagi des ngachi numerator di less compared to denominator ani di numerator long bola ngachi mola khasem la ngai ani hema video te de ani di denominator long bola so meaning kasla me lo chi numerator the less compared to denominator chhe se me bola denominator so the imports were minimum lola imports the minimum import the tagi the but so and the minimum proportionate to the proportionality comparison to the exports export the denominator the mola wolo me the of the country in which year lo ani option G esale import the minimum ka do se me boltela so analo since these are given the ratio mola lesser the ratio means numerator is less la compared to denominator kasla me lochin ratio the less watching it means numerator is less la ani how go bola example ngai solve pege example 2/7 be watching 2/7 e watching it will be 0.2 la tele 3/7 e watching it will be 0.4 so ani bla abdul tamila ngachigi ratio the less e watching anita gi de less e big logi me batala ratio the bomb e watching anita gi value dia bomb e big so tagi de tato we are talking about imports over exports so which means import over export so if the import is less mola the ratio will be less so ani bodalo import less e wachi ratio ana option nagi ratio de less ongobe so ani bodalo will look at the year mola 1995 na 0.65 1996 na 0.85 1997 na 0.35 imola 1997 na it is 0.35 the 2000 ginalu it is 0.95 la so and bodalu ngai tachli shi lesser the ratio means the import is minimum mola the numerator is minimum tagidi less ebiloji so analu option chi ni sum gsla lesser the gatul ratio it is 0.35 so and 1997 is the correct answer la how mola now let's move on with the second question la analu how go ki this concept how watching video rewind baby and sachita nala you will easily get it tele for simple nala watching la lesser the ratio mola lesser the ratio means the numerator is lesser la ngachi ratio to the lo anyway 1/2 say watching ani less e below la if the ratio is less means the numerator is less so that to the watching numerator na we are having imports me wala now let's move on to question number 2 what was the percentage increase in imports from 1997 to 1998 lo mola the percentage increase kilo lo me wala so we are going to find the percentage increase so analu ngai khatsa shi mola current year minus previous year over previous year into 100,000 khatsa formula tembala but tato gidi bawachin ratio nahi la so and when the ratio na bawachin simply ngachigi percentage increase the directly ratio 1 over ratio 2 into 100 benerin la when the mola given data is in ratio and if you are asked to find the percentage mola then simply ngachigi multiply by 100 by ratio 1 divided by ratio 2 so tatoina kachla me labachin what was the percentage increase in imports from 1997 mola 1997 to 1998 kilo la me bola so ani bodalo percentage increase the ngachigi 1997 anala 1997 to 1998 0.35 to 1.25 jeno bola so ani bendige ratio 1 is first kidla 1997 ki 0.35 over 1.25 0.35 over 1.25 la over 1.25 multiplied by 100 so we will get 28% la so and what the option na tawachin you will have 28 so this is your answer la the question number 3 gila question number 3 na kasla me lawachin if the imports of the country in 1996 was nilton 272 million imagala the export from the country in 1996 was similar kadim chibe that the import over export will give you the ratio imbatemola import over export will give you the ratio so and bodalu tatoina kachinu labachin 1996 ki data jinu bola so 1996 na ludi the import magala import was neutrum import mala and the import the neutrum 272 was the import la which is numerator magala tele export says export is not given, which is question mark, but ratio is given batila 1996 ki ratio is already given, which is 0.85 imagala ana 1996 ki ratio is 0.85. so right ratio is equals to 0.85 la ta ani di khas kam solve betus me jamto to in la so analu imports over export is equals to ratio imagala analu solve pege import over export is equals to ratio imagala ani be formula de ani variable ani di mapara imports over export da mapara ratio thum batala imaga so ani bodalu import the bachin 272 million over export is not known, but equals to ratio is given as 0.85 la. So we will do cross multiply, so e will go up, so an bodalu 0.85 e is equals to 272 la ani yata ba ani anebra lum batala imaga so an bodalu the export will be anna multiplication in the path bodalu it will get divided, so 272 divided by 0.85, so you will get the e value as 320, which is in terms of million imagala. So your answer is 320 million. And solving the it should not be a problem like Himalaya halam solve be and bodalu 320 is the answer la. Ani ki theka the problem honi me because Himalaya previous ki problem solving method lo we have solved lots of question la. Tele ani chusna. Now we'll move on with another one la. Here's the graph showing the export earning by the 3 steel manufacturing companies lola. To kasla me 3 steel manufacturing companies in Bhutan from the year 2004 to 2010 la. 2004 le go to 2010 since ki data chino anadi neutrum in million khongi di earnings mala income imbe export bebegi kachi steel export bebegi. So druk ferro alloys ki di bawachit ani star shape jinjano this one imbe and druk ferro alloys ki di the box shape emidi Bhutan carbide game be, so box shape emidi Bhutan carbide ki the karma steel ki the triangular shape do, so this one is karma steel ki am chaha question le. Now we'll move on with question number 1 again. Back to question number 1. For which of the following periods of the year the total export from the 3 companies together are equal semebala kachla me labachin for which of the following periods of year imagala ana jinjami option na jinjami periods of years kinalo ani ni year ginalo ani custom lawachin total exports from the 3 companies together are equal lo analu example ani plus bodada tele ani plus boda ani ni equal num do sit aks bema bola to khongi question gi kacha aks bema lawachin the question is asking that 3 companies ki total export di ngachi revenue di equal di namda namra do se me bola hawai mola so ani bodalu now options na touch 2006 9 7 9 8 9 6 7 and whether 2006 do 2009 do 2007 do 2009 touch can be 2008 do tele 2009 to count be 6 count be 7 count so 2006 7 8 9 ki combination chego bela chi gi 2006 7 8 9 ki khongi total revenue chego company sumgi. So we'll begin with year mola. So option 1 option starts ashimle. Now we'll begin with 2006 2007 2008 2009 emagala 2006 7 8 9 jinabala options ta go bala hemaranga chi options ta go the options ta ashimle. Now we will add la mola 2006 kinalu. Let's look at the data mola 2006 kinalu profit di bawachin anadi chi gi profit di 40 emagala 40 ana tikte align by 40 60 and 120. So let 40 plus 60 plus 120 which is equals to 220 imagala 220 million imemala million to gar million na dola na millions so anmedi for 2006 kinaludi company sum gi profit domdalu it is 220 million. For 2007 ki donludi 60 70 and 90 60 plus 70 plus 90 which is again 220 million imagala. Now anakhoni wembalta me 2006 ta 7 na equal to 220 million. So option is correct option is 2006 and 7 but laluchi dro midusugi denji mere don san buta ma jutu dro calculate peta sometimes mapa 100% ani ni email in it because nga 6 7 sequence na jundige so ya map solve about you may have to solve further mola so on 2008 ke solve petange nga chiki 2008 ke nalu we have 60 80 100 60 plus 80 plus 100 which is 240 million la tichora tibbe 2009 gina solve petange so on 2009 gina 50 80 90 50 plus 80 plus mensa 50 80 and 90 la 50 80 and 90 which is close to 230 million so anu badata mila equal emidi 220 the 220 equal emidi ani ni me what so which are 2006 and 7 so anu badata 2006 and 7 is the correct answer la hagoi mola now let's move on to question number 2 la taru what was the difference between the average revenue exports of the three companies in 2004 and 2009 question legend be how go mela what was the difference between average revenue lola ta analu question number 2 gina kachego bela wachin hemara average revenue chego be imagala tele difference between average dele jamchi difference chego bela difference between average revenue export of three companies in 2004 and 2009 ge year about 2004 and 2009 ge khoni year ge average difference kam chi mes me bola san bodalu ngachi ge hamara average chene mola we have to find the average san bodalu company ka sum chara chinu bata imagala three companies san bodalu company kai minam sme cost of payment ko directly data na junila so an bodalu hamara average chene la ngachi ge we'll firstly look at the average mola so average bodalu average revenue of three companies for the year 2004 la 2004 ki average revenue company ki bawachin which is equal to 2004 ki na bawachin 30 60 80 30 plus 60 plus 80 average so that divided by number of observation 1 2 3 so which is equals to 56.67 la if you punch in the calculator you will get this value la tele average revenue of 2009 gila 2009 gi company sum gi 2009 gi bodalo we have 50 and abunatic 50 80 90 la we have 50 80 and 90 divided by 3 again you will have 73.3 la oh mal 73.3 so and bodalu tagachego difference chego bala chi find the difference we got the average of two companies 2004 that two companies now 2 years ki 2004 and 2009 ki ta what is the difference average difference of question alu difference between the averages scheme batala so highest and dumala so we'll write simply 73.3 minus 56.67 bodalu it will give you 16.66 million so options nalu 16.66 million a be so option a is the correct answer la now question number 3 la let's move on with question number 3 so question number 3 ki kasta mein in which year did the export earnings of the three companies differ the least of their earning values lula ana kasla mila wachin differ the least labdalu ngachige dachle shumolo khonsi banage difference the less ongo bachin khongi analula graph nalu difference the less ongo bachin ani graph nalu difference less ongo bachin ani box the so close ongo bala chigi close difference ani be close bachin difference less ongo batle imaga thari sai bachin difference mamo ta chinga chigi first question solve bodalu ngai shi so ani boda ani don't the time waste begopra mila we don't have to waste our time by calculating simply achigi graphs tan la graphs mata hema options ta mo the options 2005 7 8 10 2005 7 8 and 10 mola 2005 7 8 10 2005 7 8 10 ginalu difference less ka tula 2005 gina analu gap the teach to 2007 gina tamla kar close to wala na 2007 ani sum so the 2008 gina at gap to 2010 gina the gap ma me mola so an bodalu the correct option is 2007 la so simply 2007 is the correct option la how we mola now let's move on to question number 4 la question number 4 nalu kastula wachin average annual export for the period and for the period 2004 to 2010 of Druk ferroalloys is approximately what percentage of the average annual export of Karma steel semebola kachla mela bachin ngachigi analu turu kachogobela tasla first ra average chogobela average of kada kagi chogobe Druk ferroalloys ki average chogobe tele average of turu logdra Karma steel gila sachi logdra question of average annual export for the period of 2004 to 10 give mela 2004 le 2010 since average chogobe for Druk ferroalloys is approximately what percentage of the average annual export of Karma steel la Karma steel ge chogobe ani chishimle average chishimle what percentage la Druk ferroalloys di compared to Karma ge bada what percentage me bola so ani bodalo Druk ferroalloy gi average revenue divided by Karma steel gi average revenue multiplied by 100 will get the percentage da how mola so ani ni chegobe so first thing we will do the average la Druk ferroalloys ki average chenla average ti 2004 le 2010 sense the data di jab kai mola 2004 le 2010 sense Druk ferroalloys ki star di mola ani star dimbe so we have 2004 le 80 40 60 80 40 60 mola 80 40 60 60 80 90 60 80 90 magala tele toru plus 2000 comes sense jogola 10 cents jogo batala so 2010 gidi anla which is 130 mala 120 and about it is in between so 130 divided by 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 number of observations 7 la so you will get the value as 77.14 thopla anigi tele Karma steel ki average di bawachin la Karma steel ki average di Karma steel di kadimela and a triangular way midime so which is 60 90 120 60 plus 90 plus 120 tele through plus 90 plus 60 plus 80 plus 90 la 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 antamela ngai tenge 60 mala and Karma steel gi ana la 60 90 120 90 60 80 90 magala 80 90 amchime divided by 7 number of observations so we'll again have 84.28 la so Druk ferroalloys ki average di bawachin 77.14 imbe Karma steel ki average di bawachin 84.28 imbe so question ki kachaks bedila dachi what percentage of average annual export of Karma steel semula 2004 of Druk ferroalloys is approximately what percentage of average annual export of Karma Druk ferroalloys ki ding achi average annual export of Karma ta chiga compare bogo so tachlang ai Druk ferroalloys ki average divided by Karma steel ki average multiplied by 100 bodolo and be solution dan be say so 77.14 as per question jodolo ngachi as per question Druk ferroalloys ki average is approximately what percentage of the average of Karma steel ki 84.28 which is multiplied by 100 so we'll get the percentage as 91.53 la so question nalu anyway 91.53 is here la 91.53 so this is the correct option la tele finally la last question diba wachin kastula wachin the graph below does not show axis or origin mila 0 gati x kaina y kaina matebe if point b's coordinates are 10 and 3 la b gidi 10 and 3 is wachin se mani dot midi b if b is 10 and 3 which of the following coordinates would most likely be a's ki coordinate me bola a di ki coordinate ka chon sum du se mela ta chi ge mela anadi calculate bodonga chi gi analebe kadim chibe let's consider this as 0 la and 0 be consider bochin analu 10 be wachin la x de atara na taum batar ma y ata so an boda x de ana 10 be 10 8 6 5 4 2 mitwe mola so 10 ana bachi 10 9 8 7 6 option x6 bim ana do mola option 6 bim do so an badalu 6 we can consider this as 6 la so we'll consider this as 6 axis na 6 phata di jodalu ana 6 in 6 7 8 9 10 se jomola if this is 6x6 and x7 8 9 10 se babo mela hagomola ani babo be consider bege so 10 be ana be 6 ana di 5 be mela so dele malyata omdalu y di malyata omdalu ana di 3 bawachin la ana le 2 3 se omachin and if this is 3 mola 3 4 5 6 7 8 plus 6 and 8 and option A di mela so A ge coordinates watching 6 and 8 and which is saying the and option na mebachin it should be 2 4 ya 3 3 3 be babon 3 3 watch answer method so that's all for today la touching I love to sumberai give a like and then subscribe my watch subscribe paying usually informative videos to upload pyong la tele ngagi tachli shi this is top watching la ngai questions so random be solve pe betengala because problem and we radiation the within the watching the time metobela na examination remba the nimjinga de chrem mula so an botolo karalu ngai ka to best of luck la that's single help me this karagi the thakyo ndo re way the jumbe chama base shudo karichela